Sir Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, January 9th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 48 in hour one of today's show. We'll talk about the latest news surrounding the Saints and Ryan Ramczyk, and we'll preview 5 days of playoffs in both college and the NFL. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Oh, what is going on, everyone? Hope you're having an excellent day. It is January 9th, 2025. Oh, man, January 9th. Day that probably doesn't mean anything to most people, but means something to some people around here. As, unfortunately, this is now the, 13th anniversary since the national championship over there in New Orleans against Alabama. But I didn't actually plan on starting the show like this. I literally just realized it a couple of minutes ago. Dick Condon tweeting out a video. Actually, why don't you go to Dick's Twitter real quick and bring up this video of the post-game press conference, and we can get into it. But yeah, I didn't expect to do this, but now I said the date, and here we are. If you're watching, you may accuse me of having a schmedium shirt on. This is true. It is a single X, but I love it. Alondra gave me this present yesterday, and it is a Chapel Roan concert tee, okay? So I am HOTTOGO for today's show. Come have some fun with us this morning. Jake will be joining us remotely a bit later as he is on site working the college football playoffs for Sirius XM. And we will talk a lot of college football playoffs. We've also got a bunch of Saints news in here, a bunch of playoff talk. I mean, college and NFL varietals as today kicks off 5 straight days of playoffs. And we'll talk about early enrollees at LSU. We got a big deal, no big deal, Munchies, NFL Story of the Day. So it's going to be a great day. If you want to get involved in the show, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Come hang out in the chat, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Alondra, what's up? How are we feeling this morning?
I feel good. I'm really happy that you're wearing the shirt.
Hell yeah, dude.
And
Great
that you
shirt.
like it. I'm sorry it's a schmedium.
Oh, I don't care. It's
I
fine.
might have.
It's fine on air. It'll look good on air. Now,
No, it looks
once
good.
once I wash this thing,
Don't put it in the dryer.
We'll see.
Let it air dry.
But that's always one of those situations where it only takes once.
Yeah.
It only
that's
takes
true.
once. And you want to be careful, and you try to be careful, but one time it sneaks into a load that gets quickly dumped from one to the other, and it's all good. My daughter's, it could be like a sleep shirt.
Yeah.
Or something. But for today, we support our Queen Chapel. Even though it has become a bit of a meme, straight white guys bragging about their Chapel Roan love.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That said, again, like I said, Spotify Wraps, everybody cares. I was in the
0.5.
Yeah. That's right.
To be in a
top 1%
percent
of Chapel listeners.
is
so
crazy.
Respect.
But yeah, this cold is hurting my bones.
No, it feels great, dude. It feels incredible. I love it so much. Your vanilla wafer skin just can't handle it.
No, it really can't.
Maybe it's my Slavic milk skin that is just made for this cold weather.
Maybe.
Tay, what's up with you, brother? How you doing today?
Doing good. My shirt that Alondra got me, look, it's
why isn't it on?
Yeah.
It's at the desk. I left it here because I was like, if I bring it home, I'm gonna forget to bring it.
Go put it
on.
on.
It's at the desk. I will change into it during break. I'm not going to give anything away. We'll wear it for one segment and one segment only.
No, you'll wear it the entire show. You'll wear it the entire show.
We'll see. I don't know how I feel about it, but it is.
You have to wear it the entire show.
It is here. My gifts finally came in, so I believe we are complete here on the OTB gift exchange here for the Christmas holiday.
Yeah. Do you have Dick Condon's video ready to roll?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so on January 9th, 2012, an undefeated SEC champion LSU played a one-loss Alabama in a rematch for a national championship, and we all know how it went. Did not go well. 21-0, did not cross the 50, and here was Coach Miles' post-game press conference with Bobby Hebert asking a question.
Miles, did you ever consider bringing in Jared Lee, considering that you weren't taking any chances down the field? Now, I know Alabama's defense is dominant, but come on, that's ridiculous. 5 first downs. I mean, so it's almost the approach, I'm going to tell you from the fans' standpoint, that how can you not maybe push the ball down the field and bring in a Jared Lee? So what if you get a pick 6? It seems like the game plan that you're not pushing the ball down the field, considering the assets like a Reuben Randall, Odell Beckham Jr. Now, I know the pass rusher of Alabama, but there's no reason why in 5 first downs. I mean, they're a great defense. LSU's a great defense, but that's ridiculous.
Do you have a question?
No, that's the question.
Okay.
Do you think you should have pushed the football more downfield? Coach Miles, did you ever...
I don't know when the last time I heard that audio is. I don't know that I've ever actually heard that, to be completely honest, all the way through. What I do know is that line of questioning led to some insane fallout in my personal life, where immediately the next day I start getting calls from radio stations all over the country asking about rumors and what happened and why didn't you play and all these other sorts of things. I would say that question has aged very well, though, right? Especially with the careers that Reuben and Odell went on to go have in the NFL. Why would you not try something different? Do you have a question is very funny. That is the question. And indicative of, well, what went so wrong? You got tunnel vision that game and you stuck with it. And I know people are like, tell the truth about the game. Tell the truth about the game. Well, unfortunately, guys, a lot of times in life, the simplest explanation is true. And the truth is, everything that Coach Miles did in terms of who played, the strategic decisions made, were things that he was doing not because he wanted to punish someone, not because there was drama, but because he thought those were the best things to win the game. And you can say that that's ridiculous with the benefit of hindsight. How could you believe that? It was so clearly not working, so clearly frustratingly stubborn. And I'm not saying that I disagree, but if you look at the play down the stretch of the season from that team, there were multiple games, be it Arkansas or, the Georgia SEC championship would probably be the premier example of this, where you literally, LSU's offense did not get a first down in the first half against UGA. And so if you look at the games in the run up to that, there was a rhythm where the offense would struggle, but you'd keep doing the same thing. Tyrann Mathieu would make a play and you would come back, you would win the game, you would dominate. So again, with the benefit of hindsight, it's easy to paint a strategy so frustratingly stubborn as to look stupid and maybe even as to look malicious in some sort of way, when in reality, it was in keeping with kind of the same rhythm of the game that you had the last few. The only difference being you never broke through because Alabama was different that year and you couldn't simply outpower them or out-talent them because you were on equal footing when it comes to power and talent. So it sucks. But again, I always say this, nobody stood to gain more than Coach Miles with a win there. Second national championship, one that nobody could say was won with Saban's players. I think he got $1 million bonus just straight up if he won that game. So again, it's not like he wasn't doing everything he thought was right. But that's the great thing about sports, right? You have a plan and you do it and you enact it, and sometimes it's right and sometimes it's not. And, well, you suffer the consequences, man. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Solid question by the Cannon right there, though. I don't know that I've ever heard a question like that in a press conference, actually. Just a straight-up critique an analysis of a god-awful game plan while asking a very simple question, and why didn't you give your second quarterback a chance?
So I have actually never heard that in its entirety either. I've heard later on, like, somebody just straight up ask him, like, hey, should you have played Jarrett Lee? Why did you continue with Jordan Jefferson? And Miles answered something like, well, we just thought it was appropriate to let him finish what he had started and all that. But I love the fact that Bobby's like, starts halfway asking a question and then goes on a tangent. He's like, let me explain to you in a fan perspective. And then he starts talking about how it's like ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
I've never heard it in its entirety.
I had never either, I don't think. And I should be painfully clear about this. Jordan Jefferson gets way too much blame in all of this. As a player, you have to trust your coach to put you in a position to succeed. I want you all to put yourself in Jordan Jefferson's shoes, okay? For 2 weeks in the run-up to the national championship, basically all you do is practice different versions of the option. What was the one play you had success with in game one against that defense? The option. Do you think Nick Saban and that incredible defense with multiple NFL players littered throughout practiced how to stop the option? So then what happens when in the rematch you're going against a defense that has multiple first rounders, even more draft picks on the 2 deep even, and you have to run the one play that you practice and the one play that they practice, and they're like, hey, be successful. You think that's Jordan's fault? It's insane. It's insane. And then because of the other dynamics where he doesn't play the other quarterback, which again is not Jordan's decision, Jordan somehow gets the blame for that. So it is absurd how people treat Jordan Jefferson after that game, and it angers me. But 1-9-12, a date which will forever live in infamy. While I have gotten over it in terms of like moved on with my life, et cetera, et cetera. It is one of those things that it will always be a point of a bit of regret, a bit of anger, and a bit of pain. As there was the metaphor that I always use, like you spent your life trying to climb this mountain, and right when you're about to summit, somebody just kicks you in the chest and you fall all the way down and you die. And instead of your death being treated as a tragedy, people are celebrating the person who kicked you down the mountain. Chris Saban, greatest ever, celebrating Alabama. The very team that you beat, who did not even win the conference championship, gets to win the championship. In the end, they achieve immortality. You are forgotten to time. And so the guy who killed your dog, he's going on a news tour. And they all love him for it. God. It is hard to believe that was 13 years ago, Scott. I agree. Or, 13. Jeez. What the hell's going on, man?
Moment of silence for 2013.
Yeah. Really a moment of silence for the inexorable march of time.
Yeah.
And the fact that it doesn't feel that long ago still in my head, but it was now 13 years ago, and I'm closer to death than I've ever been, as we all are, right? Every single day you wake up, and by definition, you're closer to death than you were ever.
You're not going
every
backwards.
Second, every millisecond. Yeah, there's no going backwards there.
Yeah.
Geez, really sent me into a dark spot. This opening segment didn't it? Didn't mean for this to happen. I was in an incredible mood. I was listening to Eric Pride's Call on Me not 5 minutes ago, or 13 minutes ago, I suppose. 5 minutes ago. Wow. Again, march of time.
13 minutes ago, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Easy says, I respect you for defending my boy, but his boy, but I disagree with him, Jefferson. The thing is, you don't really have a platform to disagree on.
T-Ball was on the team.
Well, it's not just that. I know exactly that I'm right. Like this is not, as the canon would say, this is not opinion. This is a fact. I'm not telling you Jordan Jefferson was a great traditional quarterback. I think Jefferson and Jarrett and Jordan both had roles to play on that team for us to be at our best, for us to be at our max. So I'm not telling you to do some like great pocket pass or anything like that. What I'm telling you is that night is not on him, and that is a fact. no one would have had success if they were put into the same situation as Jordan does. All right, let's do this. When we get back, we got some Ryan Ramczyk news, Cliff Kingsbury entering the chat. We got 5 days of playoffs kicking off. I did not mean to do this in the opening segment, but here we are. Lovely says one question from the candidates, like 5 or 6 questions of regular humans. Yes, I know. It's something that I struggle with as well. Like, I think I asked Coach Mulkey like a 3-minute question Tuesday. But, all right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it on.
Off the bench.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. GoTommys.com is the website. That's GEAUX Tommys.com. Or you call 250-8808. And why don't you upgrade? Hardy Blinker Vinyl Siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door. But we talk about those windows and siding. We're talking about energy efficient windows and siding. What that means is you save money on your heating bills, you save money on your cooling bills, probably more important here in Louisiana. So, yeah, you're paying to upgrade, but then you're saving money over time. These are investments that pay for themselves. And speaking of over time, you can trust that they're going to last for the long haul because of Tommy's. We have a lifetime warranty on that energy efficient siding, a lifetime warranty on all siding, lifetime warranty on all windows as well. So it's GEAUXTommys.com. Go Tommys. It's Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back, OTB. Hope everybody's having an excellent day this Thursday morning. If you got a drink in hand, maybe you got a coffee, something going on, pour a little bit out. I'm not going to, not in the studio. But metaphorically, pour one out. Because although this is not surprising news, it appears that one of the greats is done. As Ryan Ramczyk has agreed to reduce his salary for this upcoming year from $18 million to a league minimum $1.255 million. Frees up $16.7 million in cap space. And really what it means is that a retirement is coming. Now, let's get to the Saints cap real quick. Okay, they enter the offseason $60 million over the cap. So this gives you some immediate savings there. You're starting to chip away at that $60 million. I like all cap conversations, there's always something kind of lost in the sauce with these numbers where it's really hard to parse exactly what's going on, because it says it frees up $60 million, but they're still technically like a touch above $50 million over the cap. So it's more like a $10 million savings. But then with like post-June 2nd cuts and processing the retirement after then, you can free up another $11 million by deferring payments to 2026. So it's just, let's deal with, instead of getting, because this is not something where the details actually matter, right? Ryan Ramczyk basically nuked his contract. He's going to retire. Brings you from about $60 million to $50 million on the cap. That's all you need to know. For Ramczyk, though, and that's what I want to focus on, because right now you look at the Saints team, and out of that incredible 2017 draft class, of which, was that Ramczyk, Mike, wait, why am I, which can't guard Mike's last name?
Thomas.
Oh, my God.
Can't guard Mike.
CTE. I could remember his Twitter handle and not his
That's because he does
name.
a lot more on Twitter nowadays.
But not back in the day, because he was the 2017 class as well. That
Yeah.
was Ramczyk, Mike Thomas, and Alvin Kamara. Legendary class. And what's wild about all three of those players is, I do not use this lightly. I am not trying to exaggerate. I believe all three of those players had a half decade of their career where they were on a Hall of Fame pace. And let's focus on Ramczyk specifically, because he was immediately all rookie and a Pro Bowler year one. I believe he was already all pro in year number two. And for those that don't know the distinction, all pro is way more, like Pro Bowl's whatever, right? It's not whatever. It's still a huge accomplishment, but it's voted on by fans. A lot of players make it. If you are all pro at your position, that means the other players are saying that you are the absolute best at that position, right? And it's from the NFC and AFC. It is a massive deal. And every year in which he was healthy from the second year on, I'm pretty sure Ryan Ramczyk was an all-pro. And then you look at like Mike Thomas, a guy who, again, the first 4 or 5 years of his career, Hall of Fame potential, setting NFL records, NFL Offensive Player of the Year, injury, it falls apart. Look at Alvin Kamara, a guy changing the game in terms of receiving, catching, yards from scrimmage under Drew Brees, Hall of Fame potential, doesn't have a quarterback anymore at all, falls apart. And so what these three stories do is I think they highlight, when you see someone make the Hall of Fame, just how incredibly rigorous and full of pitfalls it can be to try to put together a true Hall of Fame career. I mean, it is years and years and years of showing up every day and doing everything you can to make it happen. And hell, sometimes you do everything right and your body just betrays you. Look at Ramczyk. Now, I won't necessarily throw Thomas in there because I think with Thomas's injuries, I think it was some personal mismanagement, which also ended up causing a lot of problems as well. And then Thomas maybe had his own kind of problems with processing it all and whatnot. Oh, okay. Mike Thomas is 2016. That makes sense.
Lattimore.
But the point still stands in terms of the path to a Hall of Fame career and how tough it can be. And when you're talking about Ryan Ramczyk, I mean, he has to go down as one of the biggest what-ifs in New Orleans Saints history because not only is it incredibly rare to find a guy with Hall of Fame potential, but when you do in there have the career like Ryan did, you expect him to play for like 10, 15 years. They're going to be your stalwart guy. I mean, even Teron Armstead, it feels like you got damn near a decade out of. And then his knees just betrayed him. And now he's retired. How old is Ryan Ramczyk?
30?
I'm looking it up. Let's see. 30 years old. 30 years old. And really hasn't played since he's like 28. So right when he was entering his kind of, I find from like 28 to 32 is a lot of times when players are at their best mental and physical mix, right? Maybe your raw athleticism is not where it was when you were 23, but the savvy vet tricks of the trade, the mentality, the way the game slows down mentally and how you process it is such that's probably your prime. So right when this man was achieving prime age, his body said, not today. And now he'll never be a Hall of Famer. And maybe he makes the Saints Hall of Fame, but he'll never be in the Ring of Honor. It just, it makes you appreciate guys like Jari Evans, like Ricky Jackson, guys anybody who can make the Hall of Fame and finish the fight. So Godspeed, Ryan Ramczyk. He's a big farm boy, right? Is he from Wisconsin, I believe? He's from somewhere up there, but I hope that he enjoys retirement. Know that you are a warrior. Put the body on the line. We had a lot of fun watching you, Ram. It was awesome, man. Brought up a lot of excitement. One of the key cornerstones in that revitalization of the final window of the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era in that 5-year stretch from 17 to 22 when you won more regular season games than anybody in the NFL. Ryan Ramczyk was a major part of it, and I'll never forget it. And who knows how long it'll be before the New Orleans Saints experience something like that again. And we'll always have that god-awful Chinese Ryan Ramczyk jersey that I bought online. Sleeves too long, numbers off center, colors all wonky. But you know what, Ryan? It's mine and it's yours. And that will make it special. It's singular. Greg Wan says, Mike T completely falling apart, broke my heart. Yeah, man. I know. He was incredible. He was incredible. He was the best receiver in the league. Again, what was it, 149 catches? Nearly 150 catches in the year in which he set the NFL record. And I'll be damned if, Ramczyk, it's injury. Thomas, maybe a bit of injury, but more so than anything with Mike T and Alvin Kamara, it's quarterback. Offensive scheme, right? Look at Christian McCaffrey was in Carolina, then look at Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy in San Francisco. Even look at Kamara last year under Pete Carmichael versus Kamara this year under Clint Kubiak. Had a lot more success. How frustrating would it be? Because that's one of the interesting parts about wide receiver and running back stuff is like, as much as you do help out the quarterback, and you definitely do, right? We're seeing the value of receiver more than we ever thought in the past. That's just another kind of funny element of this. When Mike Thomas was on the come up, it was insane to pay a receiver $20 million. Now you feel like you have to pay a receiver. Your quarterback needs it. But it's a weird position, receiver, because you also need that quarterback. And it can severely limit your output if you don't have that guy. And I think that's something that a lot of these skilled positions have here in New Orleans have struggled with the last few years. And it's something that has cost them luster, cost them stats, cost them legacy. And you can't get back legacy. That's why Mike Evans getting those 5 yards for that record was such a big deal. Or you can't just get another shot at that. That is a record that is 11 years in the making. And so I don't know what Ryan Ramczyk's legacy will be. I don't know how remembered he will be. But if you're my age, our age, or however you want to say it, I think we will remember him. And so thank you, Ram, for your time, my friend. It was awesome when it was awesome. And it's a bummer how it ended. But, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. All right. When we get back here and off the bench, we have a new name entering the Saints head coaching search. And let's go ahead and get into our 5 days of playoffs. As we have college, NFL, and NFL coming up over the next 5 days. Keep it locked right here and off the bench.
Off the bench.
Go to main event here in Baton Rouge. Main event is your answer if you're looking to have some fun. Okay? You want to bring the family out, go do some professional level bowling, or throw the bumpers up, doesn't matter, right? You want to go bowling with the family, we got you, man. You want to go play in a multi-level laser tag arena, feel like a kid again? Cranking the Mortal Kombat song where you're out there blasting your kids? We got you there as well. Gravity ropes, hundreds of your favorite arcade games, food, drinks, we got you at main event. And OTB got you. Well, you go in there, you mention off the bench, you get a 30-minute all-you-can-play game card. Bam. How about that? Go have some fun. And look, guys, if you're playing a birthday party, maybe you are a team leader, sales leader, whatever it is, you want to plan a fun event for your company or your group. We have dedicated party planners ready to go. So go to main event, Baton Rouge today.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
One more time.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. If you go to louisianasports.net, remember, is a website powered by 104.5 ESPN. I have been thoroughly enjoying louisianasports.net lately. It's a great resource. You wake up, you get on there, you see everything that's going on with the Saints head coaching search, portal breakdowns. In fact, we'll start a new series today that Hunt just started on there where he breaks down, he profiles a player in the portal every single day. We'll do Jakeem Jackson today, so look forward to that. But Ross Jackson is our Saints writer. Very good, does Locked On for the New Orleans Saints, Locked On podcast, so daily content there, also edits for Locked On. But according to Ian Rapoport, the Saints have officially requested to interview Washington Commanders offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. How exciting is this? That is what I'm trying to parse how I feel, because in terms of being a head coach in Arizona, I did not think he did a great job. I think he did a good job of getting a lot out of Kyler at time. I think he did a good job having that offense being pretty good. When it fell apart, though, it fell apart fast, and it was never really a complete team. I understand the kind of sexy nature of Kingsbury, both physically and in like the football sense, right? In that he is a genius offensive mind that has the ability to get a ton out of young quarterbacks. I mean, you bring him in, and whether it is Derek Carr, although a lot of people intimating that if you bring him in, then it's not Derek Carr, but like whoever the quarterback would be, you would be excited maybe about that individual's potential. I don't know how excited I would be about the team potential under Cliff Kingsbury. And the thing that I keep going back to, and why Aaron Glenn kind of remains my favorite, I keep thinking about this idea of being a leader of men. And who would you rather follow? And it's not any fault of these guys, like Joe Brady, Cliff Kingsbury. But if you look at their resume and their come up, compared to someone like Aaron Glenn who played and then earned his way every single step up the ladder, it's hard for me to believe that they would inspire more organizational confidence or belief than would an Aaron Glenn. Tay, what do you think about Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach of the New Orleans Saints?
I think it depends on what you do on the defensive side, right? Like if you bring in a competent defensive coordinator and basically just like Cliff Kingsbury be the de facto offensive coordinator and kind of set up practices and stuff. Don't worry about the defensive side of things, because we were actually talking about it in break yesterday, right after Jake brought up Davis Webb, and started looking at like how Kingsbury got his start in college. He went from Baker Mayfield. Mayfield left because Davis Webb beat him out. Davis Webb left because Patrick Mahomes beat him out. That's an impressive runs on quarterbacks, getting them, developing them in the college. And then you mentioned his work with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's been worse since Cliff Kingsbury's been gone. I mean, I think we can all accept that. I mean, he was okay this year for the most part, but I think he was at his best when Kingsbury was there. So I still think he's a really good offensive coach.
He's a great offensive coach. But, we've said it multiple times when talking about Jaden Daniels this year. Some guys are coordinators, some guys are head coaches. He feels like maybe someone who is a coordinator. Also, it would feel a bit odd to go all in with a coach like Kingsbury, maybe when you don't necessarily know who the quarterback's going to be. If you had the number one pick lined up and you want to go all in on young quarterback, maybe then this becomes a bit more attractive. I should also say that there is some, this is the second or third time where there's conflicting reports as to whether or not he's actually been requested for interview. But, some of the big names saying he has, some of the local names saying maybe he hasn't. But I don't think that I want Cliff Kingsbury as the head coach. 28 and 37 overall. It was weird. The thing about his time at the Cardinals is just finishing. They'd always start well, and then they would just completely collapse once Call of Duty came out. I want to remind you guys, look, if you are suffering out there, you don't have to be, okay? You're suffering from ED, just mediocrity in the bedroom, maybe mediocrity in your life with how you feel, right? You used to wake up, the world was your oyster, you'd have a little pep in your step, you'd be springing around. Well, now you feel old, you feel decrepit, you feel tired. You don't have to, okay? We don't have to go quietly into this good night. Not anymore, not nowadays, because we have technology. We have Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. You got ED, easy fix. You got low T, easy fix. You're balding, easy fix. That's the point of all of this, right? Is that these are problems that have been solved. So why deny yourself the solution? Embarrassment? Well, that's just going to create more embarrassment. It's ironic. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So wake up. Get your ass to Goodwood. Go get your labs drawn, figure out what your body needs, let them customize a plan for you. It's going to be transparent. It's going to be affordable. They're going to use discretion. It's going to be private. So take the first step today, and let's be our best self. Go to yourgoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. I want to talk about the playoffs here a bit. And there's a really good piece by Ryan McGee on ESPN.com, basically playing with the idea of, I don't know who wins the championship, but whoever does win, it will be a massive deal for that school. And here's the first excerpt from the article. Redemption, retribution, revenge. Whichever of these words you revere the most, they all relate as the college football playoff rolls into the reckoning that is this week's semifinals. A quartet of stories that are wildly varied, but at their core, essentially the same. And it's something that James Franklin talked about as well. He said, quote, but to me, the real story is the opportunity we all have to reward these great universities and the people who have supported us through thick and thin, to bring that championship feeling back to this town that will make every single step to get there worth it. So these coaches, yeah, they know that they're going to be talking about them. They're going to be talking about them, but for them, this is their chance to honor those that have supported them. You look at Ohio State. 4 years since they beat Michigan. 4 years since they won the Big Ten. A decade since a national championship. They have a chance to fix that. You look at Texas. Last championship was 20 years ago. And if you look at after that 05 championship, it was dark times. One Big 12 championship in 2009 before not winning again until 2023. In fact, how many national championships do you think Texas has won post 1970? 1. They won in 63. They won in 69. They were co-champion in 70, though that is up for debate. And then they won in 05. For one of the winningest schools ever, they do not have the natties that you think they do. They have an opportunity to add to that number. Look at Notre Dame. Hasn't won a championship since 1988. Embarrassed 42-14 in the 2012 national championship. Embarrassed in multiple playoffs. It's their opportunity to do something they haven't done since before we were born. Penn State. 13 undefeated seasons in their school histories. Only 2 national titles. 82 and 86. Even longer ago. Joe Pa had 5 teams that went undefeated and were not given finals. How about this? In 1994, you're talking about pain? In 1994, Penn State had a team that had 2 Heisman finalists, 15 draft picks. They won the Big Ten. They stomped Oregon in the Rose Bowl, and they got picked second behind Nebraska. Also indicative of why a playoff is so much better, because that sucks, and that's insane. So I don't know who it's going to be, and we'll discuss who we think will advance, but whoever it is, the glory will be great. And it will have been a long time coming. So I cannot wait. We kick off 5 days of playoff football. In hour number 2, we're going to kick it off talking about the games themselves, breaking them down. Here to close out hour number 1, let's get to Hunt Palmer's Portal Profiles coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, I want you to go to Pelican Roofing. If you have any roofing needs in Lafayette or Baton Rouge, go check out Pelican Roofing, man. Commercial, residential, we got you. Residential's the bread and butter here, though. So how about this with Pelican? In 2019, they won the Better Business Bureau Integrity Award. This is not industry specific. This means out of all the different companies in Lafayette, who took home the award? Pelican Roofing. Why? Because they operate with the utmost integrity. It is in their core principles. And we've got so many great tools to help you out. You go to pelicanroof.com. Go use the instant quote tool where you type in your address and we use satellite imagery. You choose what type of roof you want even. And with the combination of what you want in the satellite imagery, we give you an estimate on what the roof would cost before you ever even talk to someone if you want to do some research on your own. We're talking instant response time. You get with them, they're not going to make you wait. They'll be in constant communication. Once the work gets done, it gets done very quickly. And they have a dedicated person and employee every single step along the way, from answering the phones all the way through cleanups. It gives your project a focus other companies do not provide. Go to Pelican Roof today.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental.
It's fine, it's cool. You can say that we are nothing, but you know the truth.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Arms are like an angel through the gosh unreal. I don't wanna call it off, but you don't wanna call it love. You only wanna be the one that I call baby. 'Cause I'm the boys and boys.
See, Tay-Tay? Kiss all the boys you want. You know? Tell him, Jep.
Maybe I'll do that this weekend when Victoria's out of town. I was looking for plans, so maybe that'll be. Maybe I'll try to find some.
What did I want to? I wanted to push something that I'm very excited about. This is a bit of a personal thing here, but you know that I love Dungeons and Dragons. You know that I love. Hold on, let me look something up so I make sure I have the location correct. Wait. You know, I'm gonna hold off on this. Actually, I'll tell you this in a little bit. Right now, let's do a. I was going to talk about something I'm going to tonight because I want people to go, but then I couldn't remember exactly where it was, so I'm just going to wait and do it the right way. Hunt Palmer on LouisianaSports.net has kicked off an excellent new series, okay? And it is Portal Profile series. But again, if you haven't been going to LouisianaSports.net, Hunt is doing a great job, as is Ross, as Chris, is a great website. But he's starting with Florida cornerback Jakeem Jackson. And so let's talk a bit about him, okay? He's 6'1". Coming out of high school a couple of years ago, he was the number 5 corner in the country. He was number 55 player overall. So a top 100, damn near top 50 player. He was an Under Armour All-American who ran a 10.9 in the 100. As a true freshman at Florida under Corey Raymond, he played in 11 games. He had 7 tackles. He had 3 PBUs. That was not as a full-time starter. Going into his sophomore year this last season, he was a full-time starter. However, he suffered an injury in game number 2, which ended up holding him out for the season, so he ended up redshirting. What that means now is in Jakeem Jackson, at a position of need, you are getting a 6'1" corner. That is big for a cornerback who is a redshirt sophomore, so has multiple years of eligibility left, though it does mean he will be draft eligible even after this season. But you're getting a veteran with all the size, all the natural talent, playing for a coach that knows him well enough now that they have followed each other to 2 different spots. A coach that believes in him, a coach that has teamed up with him twice. I think the potential for Jakeem Jackson next year is through the roof. I think he is an immediate starter on the outside. And I think this could be the catalyst for bringing what we think of as DBU back to the fore. Now, that's maybe a bit unfair to some of the guys who have been very solid the last couple of years. I mean, obviously, Zy Alexander, one of the top 5 rated players on LSU this season, will likely be the first one drafted since Jarek Bernard-Converse heard his name a couple of years ago. But what I'm talking about is bringing back that idea that you don't really want to throw on LSU, or we're going to play man and you're going to have to beat man. Zy Alexander could do that this year. Stamps and Woodland at time have done well, but Jackson, with his size, natural ability, maybe he is that guy. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he gets beat out. But you can know this. If you beat him out, well, then you should be excited about whoever won that job. Because, again, this is a guy that was starting at Florida here as a true sophomore, as a true freshman, that played in every single game. So he's got experience. And we talked about NFL guys entering their physical prime, maybe in that like 28 to 32 in college, that redshirt sophomore range. That's when it's time. Okay. You've been at it for 2 years. You understand what's required of you mentally to make it through a season, physically to make it through a season, and everything really slows down at that point. And you got a great coach that you believe in Corey Raymond, and you have a great defensive coordinator that you believe in Blake Baker. And how much better can Blake Baker be if he can trust the guys on the outside? And so, although Jakeem Jackson's highlighting this segment, him, DJ Pickett, Aiden Anding, Ashton Stamps, PJ Woodland, all of these guys, you got enough now. Mansour Delane, you throw enough of these guys against the wall, you're going to emerge with some really solid play, and it is going to unlock what Blake Baker does next year. So I think Jakeem Jackson was an excellent player to start the Portal Profile Series with. Again, LouisianaSports.net, because he could be one of the biggest immediate impacts out of the portal. And that's something that we'll get to a bit next hour as well. 13 early enrollees showing up in Baton Rouge this week. He'll be most impactful. But coming up next, let's talk playoffs here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZBlinds.com, K to Z Blinds.com. So, look, man, you go to the website, you can put in your name, email, phone, zip, and then you select what you're looking for: blinds, shades, shutters, draperies, exteriors, maybe motorized drop-down shading for outside, like what Jake has, right? He hits a button, the shade goes down. He can be grilling and chilling. In fact, even when he's not outside, he can hit that button, the shade goes down. All of a sudden, in his living room, the shade on his the glare on his TV, it's gone. And that's maybe what you don't always appreciate here is the expertise that Brandon Barton had his team have is such that when you have them out to your home for that free estimate, within 15 minutes, they let you know exactly how the sunlight interacts with your homes, and they give you multiple different options at multiple different price points to accomplish goals that are both aesthetic and functional. So invest in your home. Take your home to the next level with K to Z window coverings, KTOZBlinds.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, January 9th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 49 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll take a final preview of the college football playoff semifinals coming up today and tomorrow, and we'll look at the 13 early enrollees for the LSU football team. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What up, yo? Welcome back. Hour number 2 of OTB. We are rolling right along here in studio. Hope you're all having an excellent morning, January 9th, 2025. Remember, you ever miss anything, you can catch it on demand on our Off the Bench podcast feed. You can always go to OTB LSU, OTB Saints if you want the more focused stuff. Or if you ever want to just catch a show, you go to the youtube.com/1045 ESPN, click on the live tab. Though, actually, that gets demonetized so much or taken down so much that probably your best bet is the podcast. So go check that out. All right. Let's go ahead then and dive straight in to the playoffs as we are kicking off 5 days of playoffs here. As we said, a Final Four that features 4 teams that are traditionally great, but have not been great as of late. And it starts tonight with Penn State and Notre Dame. And, I mean, again, just think about the brands here. Penn State, 8th all-time in wins for college football. Notre Dame, 4th all-time in wins. Interestingly, these are 2 teams that used to play each other quite a bit. The all-time series and what is narratively perfect here, I love this so much. The all-time series is 9-9-1. So a perfect, even 9 wins and 9 losses, and even a tie on top for these 2 teams. Whoever wins will not just gain the advantage in the all-time series, but will move on to play for a national championship. Both teams looking for their first national championship in over 30 years. And what I'm about to say here, some of you are going to be like, "Rah, this matter," get like angry about it, but like ask yourself why you're angry about this, because it's crazy for that. But both teams led by black head coaches. And despite college football being a sport in which the majority of the labor has always been black, there has never been a black head coach that has won a football national championship. So one of these men is going to never get an opportunity, and I think that's great. I think that's very cool. I think representation matters. I think if you don't think it matters, then ask yourself why you love Riley Moss so much. You know? Because he's a white corner, and you never see it. And you think it's awesome because you never see it. Okay? And so, and you hope that maybe there'll be more in the future, right? Well, same thing here. What's interesting about these playoffs is, I would say the theme of the playoffs in kind of in a rejection of modern football as we have known it as of late. The theme is not quarterback this playoff season. It's not offense. It has been defense and running the ball. And when you look at these 2 teams in Penn State and Notre Dame, I mean, my God, these are 2 teams that are defined by defense and running the ball. I mean, for Penn State, you have Singleton and Allen, very good running back combo where both guys are nearly averaging 7 yards a carry. You have Drew Aller, who's kind of like a worse Josh Allen type, which is funny. He's better than Josh Allen was in college, right? But he's not nearly as effective as a passer as of yet, but he's giant. He can use his arm well. He can run it well. Also, not as good as Riley Leonard. So that's for Penn State. For Notre Dame, you have Jeremiah Love, you have Price, you have Riley Leonard, who, as we've seen, running is his best ability. He can throw it enough when you need him to, but ultimately, Mike Denbrock has made this offense effective with the legs of Riley Leonard. It's how they were able to do enough to close out Georgia last week. And then you get into the defenses, and there's just superstars and draft picks all over the place. I mean, these two defenses at every single level, front seven, defensive backfield, wherever, at every single level, these two defenses have NFL players. Now, one key difference, and interestingly, it's kind of a difference in, it's potentially the thing that could hold Notre Dame back more than anything, is it looks like Penn State will have Abdul Carter. If you don't know who that is the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. 22 TIFLs, 11 sacks. He is an incredible player. Unfortunately for Notre Dame, their best edge rusher, Riley Mills, they lost against Indiana. Hell, they lost their best corner, probably the best quarterback in the entire country halfway through this football season, and yet here they are. They also lost a starting lineman against Indiana, so Notre Dame is dealing with injury. And unfortunately for Notre Dame, they ended up with 2 less days of preparation and recovery versus Penn State. Now, they still got a full week, which is not bad because you can hit the rhythm of a normal game week, but because that game was delayed because of the tragedy in New Orleans and because of just how the schedule worked, Penn State's going to come off of a full 9 days of rest versus 7 for that of Notre Dame. Could be interesting to see if that comes into play. I think one of the key questions when you look at this game that you have to ask is how much do the quarterbacks actually matter here? And it doesn't feel too dissimilar from how I felt about Notre Dame and UGA playing last week with Gunnar Stockton and Riley Leonard. Like, obviously, the quarterbacks are big elements, the same way they were in that game. But I would not say that either quarterback was the reason that their team won or lost the game, like the main driving force of the outcome. It is the defense in both of these regards. Now, which quarterback can manage to have enough success against the defense? Therein lies the question. One separation point that it feels like on paper that I think Penn State has here would be Tyler Warren, the tight end. I don't think Notre Dame has anybody like, okay, they've got Love and Price to kind of counter Singleton and Allen. I'm fine with Leonard countering Drew Aller. I don't know that you have a playmaker like Penn State does in Tyler Warren. But herein lies what I think is the most confusing part about this game. On paper, I do think that Penn State looks like they have the clear advantages. As I just said, I believe them to be basically as talented as Notre Dame. Only I think they have more of their superstars still available if Abdul Carter plays. Like I said, I don't think they have a Warren. I don't think Notre Dame does. Like I said, I think Drew Aller is a more complete quarterback than that of Riley Leonard. But I don't think Penn State's looked nearly as good in the playoffs thus far. I mean, beating SMU, sure, you had a quarterback throw you 2 pick sixes right at the beginning of the game, and you were just markedly bigger, stronger, and faster. SMU, the worst team in this field. Then you beat Boise State, and the final score looks nice, but the game was a bit closer than you would think. I mean, it's a hands to the face penalty away for being 24-21 late. And then on the other side, you have a Notre Dame team who's maybe looked the best out of anybody in the playoffs, save for Ohio State, obviously. But a Notre Dame team that has the 2 most impressive wins. I mean, you beat Indiana in a way that only Ohio State beat Indiana like. But they didn't ever play anybody. Well, look at Indiana, Michigan. It's a Michigan team that was playing very well by the end of the year. A Michigan team that would beat Ohio State, a Michigan team that were going to beat Alabama. Well, just a couple weeks before those games, they played Indiana, and Indiana won. Also, we learned the other day, did you know this about Curtis Rourke? Played the entire season on a torn ACL. thumb on his throwing finger shattered. He was putting it all out there. But the point of it is that Indiana team, I think, is a bit better than what people think, and Notre Dame made them look absolutely pedestrian. Then they took down the SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs by a wide margin and made them look pedestrian. And look, if Carson Beck plays, I think that's a closer game. I still think Notre Dame wins because, as I said, this Notre Dame team is incredibly talented even post-injury. But there's my problem, though, is that I feel like Notre Dame's put the better games on tape, beaten the better opponents by more impressive margins, but Penn State on paper looks better and has superstars that maybe Notre Dame doesn't. Coaching advantage? Tough to say. I'm going to go with Marcus Freeman simply because we've seen James Franklin kind of struggle in these spots, and because I think that Marcus Freeman, for as much as you want to talk about losing Northern Illinois, losing to Marshall, whatever, this is only his third year on the job, guys, and it has been a consistent climb. And if you look at last year where you only have 10 men on the field against Ohio State, they run where your guy is missing. You still almost stop them, but you don't. To go from one of the most major coaching gaffes I've ever seen there to then pulling the galaxy-brained full 11-man substitution on 4th and 1 against Georgia to get the first down, take 5 more minutes eventually off of the clock, that's growth. And that speaks to a man who is on the rise. So, despite the fact that I think Penn State looks better on paper, I think Notre Dame wins this game. I'm just going gut feeling. Now, to be fair, last time I went gut feeling was I said Oregon was going to be Ohio State. So maybe I'm completely wrong here, right? But that is my read on a bit of a weird but sexy old school defense, run the ball sort of matchup. Would y'all like to add any thoughts before we get to Texas Ohio State?
I think Notre Dame wins this game as well. I'm with you. You know, I've been kind of going back and forth on it, and if it comes down to having to make a throw, I do favor Penn State in that game. Drew Aller's been so good, but T-Bob, I'm glad you mentioned Notre Dame has just looked like the better team so far in the playoffs. Penn State also played SMU and Boise State. Notre Dame played Indiana and Georgia and looked really good. I heard a stat this morning driving in. Notre Dame, after beating Indiana and Georgia, has 8 top 25 wins this year. That's more than any team in the college football playoffs. So, yeah, I get it. They lost to Northern Illinois early. And what did we talk about coming into the playoffs? Marcus Freeman's only big games last year. He kind of faltered a little bit. We know about the 10 men on the field, 2 plays in a row against Ohio State, but he's completely flipped that this year. I trust Marcus Freeman, as young as he is, to win this game more than James Franklin. I get it. Both teams are so similar. Penn State's defense is really good, but I don't know. It's just something about this Notre Dame team, man. I'm kind of feeling it. It's just kind of like a vibe check. I think that Notre Dame, what they've done in the playoffs, what they did in the regular season, I trust them more.
I think they may have the best defense in the entire tournament.
Them or Texas? It's close.
Nah, I think they're better than Texas. I got major questions about Texas after what they allowed Cade Klubnik and those freshman wide receivers to do to them.
Well, the thing about Penn State, they're causing turnovers too. That's the...
I agree, but Notre Dame doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
I think Riley Leonard has done a very good job of after early on. I think Notre Dame has the best defense, and I think that they have an offense that knows themselves for whatever that is worth. So I'm kind of with you in the vibe check. Will y'all allow me a little room to repeat a very uncouth joke that I heard?
Yeah.
In some ways.
Also, I think Notre Dame takes this one.
I don't love this. I don't like this at all. I don't.
Oh, because we all picked them?
Yeah, because we all picked them.
Well, it's what Taylor said, though. Like, after that win over Georgia, it just feels like they're the better team.
I know.
And I get it. You can look at the final score and say, oh, well, Indiana was a 10-point game. That game was 24-3 late in the third quarter. Like, that was...
No, yeah. Well,
that was not a game.
It wasn't close. It wasn't close.
They had a tougher path than Penn State did.
No, they definitely did. But see, so that's what I'm saying, though, right? Like, I agree that's why it's giving us more confidence because what they've done, but also they've gone through a tougher path and they have 2 days less from which to recover. So they're like, there's a lot more and more injured. There's a lot working against Notre Dame here, but I think we're all saying the same thing. We agree. We're feeling the same thing here.
Anytime there's a game that I think is going to come down to the wire, I kind of sit there and I'm like, if there's a blowout, which team do I think would do it? And I could see a Notre Dame blowout more than a Penn State blowout just because of the way Notre Dame's been playing. So that's ultimately why I pick them. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know
think
if I
these
agree
teams
with
are really, really similar, but that's how I see it.
What's this joke, though?
So somebody mentioned Catholics versus convicts.
Yeah.
This game, in many ways,
Yeah.
could be considered pedophiles versus pedophiles.
It could.
Could be. Yep.
I know. Okay. I know.
a
Some of
good
y'all are gonna
joke.
get
It's a good
mad.
joke.
Some of y'all are gonna get mad, but that's funny. Okay, that is darkly funny. Don't get mad about it. Just chuckle and move on, or change the channel if you don't like it. Did you see the shirts though? People are printing shirts that say pedos versus pedos with the colors of the schools. Anyway, Derek says, I really can't believe you're positive talking Notre Dame. I mean, I'm not cheering for anyone here. I'm trying to give objective analysis of how I feel about the game. Also, I don't hate Notre Dame.
See, I do. I hope Penn State crushes them in this game. I just don't think they will.
I don't hate Notre Dame. It's not Notre Dame's fault that Brian Kelly hasn't done what you wanted him to do the first 3 years here, you know? Like, I don't care. Their media wants to talk crap. Their fans talk. I don't care. I just need Brian Kelly and LSU to beat Clemson. Like, I'm already thinking about it. I've already been talking about it. I was on with that SEC podcast with my guy, SEC Mike, yesterday, and that's what I was talking about. Like, that is the bottom line, number one, with the bullet goal for the entirety of this LSU football program is beat Clemson. Literally nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. If you lose to Clemson to start next season, which, again, I just mentioned Cade Klubnik and those freshman receivers. They're going to be very good. You're going into their Death Valley. If you lose to Clemson to start the year next year, you want to talk about a disaster? Throw your hands up. Oh, crap. Here we go again. I mean, that's that. Daniel Blunt says, T-Bob is such a long dramatic pause that I'm assuming I'm having streaming trouble. You know what it honestly is? There's a streamer that I really like. This guy, Josh Strife Hayes. He does a lot of MMO content. He's great. Whatever. He's an Englishman with a beautiful voice. But he was talking about public speaking and ums and ahs and how he forced himself to take them out of it. And it's okay to pause and collect your thought rather than to use a filler word like, or ah, or you know. And so I'm trying to be much more cognizant of the ums and the ahs. But what that is leading to are some pauses where I'm trying to collect my thoughts instead of filling it with a So, there you go. When we get back, that's the game tonight. Coming up on Friday, we got Texas and Ohio State. Let's break it down next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction today and check it out, guys. We're going to make your backyard of your dreams come true. We build the spaces, you build the memories. That's what this is about. You want your home to be the place that your kids, their friends, your friends all want to hang out at. So you get to spend time together, man. It's like Jerry Jones said, right? You don't want to see him just at night or, Christmas or Thanksgiving. You want to be hanging out with them, everybody having fun. Well, that you can build a super sick custom pool. You can choose from the spec pools. You can build yourself an awesome outdoor kitchen, outdoor living area. Build yourself a bigger and better fence. Bulkheads, pergolas, all of it at Pinnacle Exterior Construction. PECbuilt.com is the website. Go check out the work, guys, because the gallery is going to blow you away. The level of craftsmanship is unparalleled. Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Shout out to Sabrina. Her and Barry Keegan broke up though, right?
I believe so.
I gotta let my brother know.
I'm not gonna cry that it's over. I'm just gonna smile that such a hot couple ever happened.
Is he hot?
I think if you were to, I think you would look at pictures of him and think, wow, he's a little androgynous, he's a little odd.
I've seen him before. I don't think
I
he's
feel like
hot.
if you saw him in real life, you would probably be a bit ensorcelled.
Like an aura type thing?
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Also,
I mean,
did you watch
how
Saltburn?
else are you going to land
No.
Sabrina?
I guess.
You know, you ain't just half stepping
That's
into
true,
the hole
but
to land
they did
Sabrina
break up.
Carpenter. Yeah.
Go
for
watch
sure.
go
They're
watch
young and
Saltburn.
famous.
You'll know why T-Bob likes Barry Keegan.
I mean, he's got, well, first of all, he's got the very blue eyes, good body, whatever. So here's what I was alluding to at the end of hour one when I bungled it. But tonight, inviting everybody to join me at the Cavalier House Books in Denham Springs. So I play Dungeons and Dragons. For years, we filmed a show called The Night Shift. It was very fun. Unfortunately, the finale episode, which was incredible, got deleted. I don't want to talk about it. It's awful. Bums me out. Makes me sick to my stomach. Whatever. But one of my partners on the night shift, somebody who I traveled and adventured with for years, is Lindsay Duga. Lindsay Duga is also a young adult author, and she has her brand new book that just came out yesterday, and it is called Royal Heirs Academy. It's great. I haven't read it. I'm going to pick it up tonight and go read it. But the premise is a bunch of it's kind of a bit Hogwartsy. A bunch of young royals at a school together going into this competition. Whoever wins, I think, wins the kingdom. But either way, if you're looking for something fun tonight, 5 to 7 p.m., Cavalier Bookhouse in Denham Springs. I'll be out there celebrating Lindsay. Hell yeah, congratulations, man. Dropping yet another book. It's fantastic. What are you giggling about?
No, sorry. It's just a comment. Barry Keoghan looks sick with AIDS.
I don't think that's accurate.
I don't think he's quite skinny enough. Right?
Yeah, because he's pretty jacked. I think he more just looks a little alien. He looks a little androgynous, a little disconcerting. He dresses that way too. He's got a little bit of Willem Dafoe has some of the androgyny. Willem Dafoe and Frances McDermott are actually the same people.
I have a crush on Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
I guess though, you have the crush on Willem Dafoe, but he's not not everybody would. You know what I mean? I guess that's what T-Bub's getting at with Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, that's true.
What I'm mainly saying about Barry is that I just believe that if you were to see him in real life, that there would just be that he would. I think he would ensorcel men and women. One of those aura type of deals.
What time are you going to be at Cavalier?
I think I'm going to get there around 6 because I got to get the girls home from dance first. But yeah, come on out. It's going to be a good time.
I live 15 minutes.
Right? I've read Kiss by a Royal, one of Lindsay's other books. Very good, very fun. But I'm especially excited for this one. I love a magic school. I love a fantasy school ever since Hogwarts.
Yeah.
King Killer Chronicles has it as well. My favorite fantasy I've ever read as an adult. So I'm really looking forward to it. But if you got a teen daughter or something like that, they could be really into this. Go check it out. All right. Let's get into Texas, Ohio State. And again, speaking of brands, are you kidding me here? These are two teams that are top 5 all time in wins. These are two teams that started in the top 4 this season, and here we are. They're in the final 4. What I find to be interesting is, despite these two teams being so successful throughout the history of the sport, they've only played each other 3 times. Only. Texas and Ohio State. So this is only the 4th time they'll ever match it up. And the other 3 times they played were all very big deals. In 05, so 05, 06, they did a home and home. In 05, Vince Young won in Columbus before going on to win national championship. In 06, Texas won, flip it. In 06, Ohio State won in Austin before going on to lose in a national championship. The next time and last time they would play was the 08 Fiesta Bowl, in which Colt McCoy threw a game-winning touchdown with just 16 seconds left in an instant classic. So when they've matched up, there have been fireworks and there have been major results produced, and this should be no different. As from a pure talent perspective, these are the 2 most talented teams left in this playoff. And when you think about the theme of this playoffs, defense and running the ball, Ohio State is maybe the outlier here. Because when you look at their ability to throw, the weapons that they have in Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka, and then those 2 running backs and everybody else on the team, they have weapons that are not represented anywhere else in the Final 4. And in fact, they are the only team that doesn't want to run to set up the pass. They want to pass to set up the run. And so it begs the question, is Will Howard actually the biggest key to the entirety of this playoff? And although the takes on Howard have been varied at times this year, I myself have waffled back and forth. He's truly only had 1 bad game. He is clearly and objectively the best quarterback left in the playoff. Through 2 playoff games in which they played what were supposed to be the best teams or the best matchups for that round. In terms of Tennessee, a 2-loss SEC team against a 2-loss Big Ten team. And then Oregon, many people treat as a de facto championship. And they absolutely dominated both. Why? Will Howard hasn't been sacked. And against Tennessee, Will Howard completes 82% of his passes, 311 through the air, 10.7 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Against Oregon, 17 of 26, 319, a mind-boggling 12.3 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And in Jeremiah Smith, you have a player that Dan Orlovsky said if he came out today, he would be the number 1 overall pick at wide receiver, who through 2 games has 13 catches, 290 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, you are talking about a Megatron level player here. Julio Jones, whoever you want to say, that's Jeremiah Smith. Now, this is where this game becomes interesting because as Taylor was alluding to, this Texas secondary is the most talented one that Ohio State will have faced all year long. And so in theory, they should be best suited to dealing or challenging Smith and these weapons. And if you can slow down the passing attack, well, Ohio State has struggled when they have to stand and bang and try to run the ball in a more traditional sense. Again, they want to throw to unlock the run, whereas a team like Texas and everybody else in the playoff wants to run to unlock play action and unlock the pass. So it's an elite Texas secondary, but they haven't faced nobody like this. And I am a bit concerned about some of the success I saw Clemson and those receivers had a couple of games ago because Jeremiah Smith is the final boss. So that's a matchup to watch. Texas secondary against Ohio State's weapons. I'll take Ohio State's weapons just because I can't get away from how dominant they've looked thus far. But the other matchup comes back once again to can Texas run the ball? And that's the problem with Texas. They're a great team. They are a great team, and they are dominant in nearly every sense except for running the ball, run game efficiency. Now, it's not they're bad at running the ball. In fact, most teams can't stop them. But if you can, they get into trouble. Look at the 3 games in which they lost or got into trouble. 2 games against Georgia in which Georgia completely shut down the run to the tune of less than 2 yards a carry. And then against Arizona State, less than 2 yards a carry. And so that's what Ohio State has to do, and it's very clear. Now, Ohio State's a bit interesting. They have, they're like 5th in kind of traditional run defense, but then if you look at like analytics, they're more maybe in the like 15 to 20 range. So they're good, maybe not the most elite of the elite. But if you can stop Jaden Blue, you can stop Wisner for Texas, you put the game into Quinn Ewers' hands, he will struggle a bit. So, unfortunately for your Longhorns, Alondra, I think that's how it plays out. I think Texas doesn't have the success on the ground they need. I think that ultimately in a battle of good on good, the Ohio State weapons win. And I think Will Howard and the Buckeyes carry the day into the national championship as Ryan Day continues his Paul Atreides navigating of the one path that can save him. When we get back, we got Jake Hester now, and I'll let you guys weigh in on the game as well. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is there for you when you need them, guys. Be it a brand new vehicle, maybe something like a Toyota certified used vehicle. We have all the inventory ready to go right there on site. You can test drive whatever you want. It's all at All-Star. In fact, if you go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, the website, you see a box pop up in which you can search the inventory and what you need by, you can search by keyword, minivan, truck, whatever, luxury SUV. You can search by make and model if you know more specifically what you want, or you can search by price if this is going to be a more budget-based decision. But right in there, it's representative of what All-Star does so well, which is customize and find the answers that you need for you and your family. So whether you're looking to buy new, you want a Toyota certified used vehicle, you're looking to rent, it doesn't matter. You're looking for All-Star. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge today. Look off of Airline and Goodwood, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 9.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back, guys. Jake Hester checking in live from the Cotton Bowl. Jake, what's up, man? What's going on down there in D-Town?
How we doing? Everything's okay right now. Got some ice-ish type stuff on the ground, so nothing like snow or anything just yet. So hopefully that's all that it does, and it stays that way and doesn't turn into what maybe they're fearing it's going to, which is a bunch of the stuff that we don't want on the ground.
All right, Jake. So we were just discussing Texas, Ohio State. You are covering Texas, Ohio State. I don't know if you've done anything yet in that regard. What are your thoughts on Friday night's game?
Yeah, we did a couple things early this morning. We'll continue that. We'll have a full show 11 to 2, I believe, today, and get a chance hopefully to speak to some of the players and coaches after that. I was kind of listening to you, and look, there's a lot of ways that Ohio State, I think, can win this game, but there's only a few how Texas can win this game. So Texas certainly has to play their style of game. Their stars have to be stars. Their defensive backs, who have been really good all season long. I mean, you've even got the Thor Pointer over there. They've got to play their best game. It is going to be a challenge. And there's a lot of good with like Quinn Ewers. Like we've talked about, 85% of the time, he's really, really good. It's that 15% of the time that he kind of he disappears or he makes a bad play. And same thing, for this offense in general. They did it against Arizona State. They've kind of done it in a lot of big games this year, and they can't have that. They cannot have that, not with the way Ohio State's playing right now. So if you're playing, the Texas defense, how do you attack Ohio State? Do you say, hey, we're going to take away Jeremiah Smith, or we're going to try to slow him down? I'm not sure that you can take him away right now. But if you do that, like that two-headed monster running back, that can make you pay. If you try to take away the run, Jeremiah Smith can beat you over the top. Now, I will say this for Texas, mentioning those three defensive backs that they have, they've got probably the best opportunity to try to single up Jeremiah Smith if they wanted to try to stop the run first, or maybe they can single him up a little bit with maybe some help at times. I mean, they have the athletes to do it. They've got first-round picks in the defensive backfield. And so, like, how they play this game is going to be, very important. And then for me, can Texas and that offense, can they not disappear? Because, again, I can give you a lot of ways Ohio State can win this game. I only have a few for Texas, and Texas has to make sure that their stars play their best game of the year, I think, to be victorious.
Alondra, we haven't let you weigh in on this yet. As our resident Texas fan with your SEC Network hat on, carrying the water for Greg Sankey's conference. How are we feeling about today's game?
Well,
or
first
tomorrow's
of all,
game,
shout out Kevin Wagner who gave me this hat. He's super nice for that. It's just a hat that I got from work.
Don't get defensive.
I'm not getting defensive, but you're just saying I'm carrying water for Greg Sankey.
No, I'm just saying that a lot of people are saying Texas is the hope for the SEC here, to down year for the SEC.
And I never said that. So you're putting words in my mouth.
I'm not saying it. It's factual. They're the only team left.
Yeah, see, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, but I never said that. Yeah. It is true, but I never said it.
Okay.
So
well,
let's
not get we're getting distracted by the. I just noticed you had a SEC Network.
Okay, so I don't think I can really add more to the conversation that y'all haven't already touched on. My biggest worry is the run game, though, because it's been pretty mid, and Ohio State is good at stopping the run. So that's where my biggest concern is, and y'all already touched on that, so I don't know what more I could add.
Yeah.
Look, Matthew Golden's going to get his on offense, I think, for Texas.
He has to.
Gunnar Helm's going to get his. Alondra's right about, which running back is going to be able to step up. I mean, Texas, look, they can run their offensive line can give them the opportunity to run the football. Yeah. We've seen them go for 200 plus in this playoffs. And I know Clemson's not great at run defense, but I mean, they have the ability. They've got the Jimmies and Joes to do it. How much of it is going to be enough? Because I still think you have to make so many explosive plays through the air. And look, Matthew Golden's made a ton of those. Like, can Isaiah Bond give you anything, T? Like, can he show up and give you what we were all told that he was going to give you this entire season? Like, that's a guy, like when we talk about stars, like it doesn't mean stars that have been here lately. It's guys that you brought in to try to be stars. So like a guy like that, can he make two plays in this game and be the difference?
Well, you also got to remember their RB1 was out for the season before the season even started. So this isn't like their core. I mean, I guess it is, but like
at this point it is. But
yeah,
yes, I mean,
but
they're
like doing what they can with what they have. And also, like y'all were saying earlier, Notre Dame has the best defense, and Texas is right up there with them. And
sure,
I just hope that they can get after Ohio State and Howard.
Yeah,
early.
I mean, nobody's done it yet through 2 games. Nobody's been able to get after him. 0 sacks in the playoffs on Will Howard thus far. Tay, what is your take on this good game?
Well, first off, I think the winner of this game is winning the national championship because coming into the playoff, Texas was my pick to win the whole thing. Now, Ohio State has completely blown me away in their 2 games. I think they by far looked like the best team. But I really do think this is going to be a battle. The more I think about that Arizona State game, because we had talked about it a little bit last week, and everybody was like, hey, look, you were outgained. They tripled your number of rushing yards. Arizona State 214, Texas only 53. Arizona State ran 97 plays. Texas ran
Texas got dominated in the box.
Yeah, and then time of possession, 37 minutes to 22. But Texas found a way to win that game. Yeah. I think that actually makes you a better team because up to this point, we had always talked about if Texas can run the ball, they can beat anybody they play. If they can't, they're going to struggle. They couldn't run the ball. Quinn Ewers found a way to make plays. My only concern is that Ohio State secondary because Golden's great.
You're dealing with Caleb Downs.
Golden's great. Helm's great. I just think Ohio State has more weapons. And I was critical of Will Howard coming into the season. I didn't understand the move from McCord to Howard. Howard's been phenomenal. He can run the ball as well. I just think that Even if you shut down Jeremiah Smith, you have Egbuka there. You got the guys. Henderson and Judkins can catch the ball out of the backfield too. I mean, that's something a lot of people don't point out. I just think Ohio State has a little bit too many weapons.
One thing that I do think works in Texas' favor here, or something they've been good at this year that they have used to great effect to win big games, and maybe it rears its head here again, is Texas red zone defense has been great. I think about the Arkansas game, very close game, which they're on the road. They need a big win. It was a late 4th and goal stop that put that game away. You think about why did you beat Arizona State despite the fact that you got so statistically dominated? It's because you had Arizona State come up empty in the red zone so many times. So there is a bit of a bend but don't break element to this Texas defense where if Ohio State manages to get down there and they can flex and bow up and stop them, well, maybe that's they'll have to win that again, given that it's been a strength for them in big moments this year. They'll have to win that again if they're going to win this game. Because that's a skill. I mean, being great at red zone defense is a skill, and it's something that Texas has been good at.
Even the A&M game.
Yeah. Yes. True. I didn't think about that.
Big 4th down stop there too. Yeah.
So it's been a consistent theme with them through the season. Something to watch going forward. So in the end, though, look, I think Notre Dame wins, and I think Ohio State wins. Who do you got, Jake?
Ooh, I think I'll do the same. I mean, I wanted to say somebody different, so it give a little bit of spice.
We're all on Notre Dame then. That makes me a big concern.
For me, I just saw Notre Dame in person, so obviously you're going to be maybe a little biased towards your answer because you just saw them bully a bully that never gets bullied in Georgia. True. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really impressive. Riley Leonard doesn't even have to throw for 100 yards and they can still find a way to win. They just got different looking guys on that defense than they've had in the past. They got Sunday players littered throughout, and like Jeremiah Love didn't even do anything against Georgia, and they still dominated the game. So Penn State's got weapons. I could certainly make a case for Penn State, but yeah, I'm going to go Notre Dame, and I really want to go Texas because before the playoff on off campus, like, hey, choose 3 teams you think can go win this deal, and I went Oregon, Notre Dame, and Texas. So I had belief in them, but I think it's more about Ohio State than it is about Texas right now.
Yeah,
and what they've
done. I'd agree with that. All right. When we get back, there it is. Gotta cut him out. When we get back, we'll close out hour number 2 of OTB.
Off the bench.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
And 2 9-hole courses, City Park and the newly renovated J.S. Clark. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
So, LSU will have 13 early enrollees move to Baton Rouge this weekend. We got DJ Pickett, Harlan Berry, Dame Shanklin, Charles Ross, Teron Francis, J.D. LeFleur, Solomon. This is messed up, man. They stick all the O-linemen together. All those other guys get their own line in the formatting of this tweet. Then it's O-lineman, Solomon Thomas, Carius Curtin, Tyler Miller, Bordelon, D-lineman, Zion Williams, Brandon Brown, D-Battle. Pretty good haul there. A lot of early enrollees. Who do we expect will have the biggest impact immediately on this LSU football team?
Be Pickett, right? I mean, that'd be the obvious answer.
Yes. Yeah.
Highest rated player, kind of a position that's not, solidified and nailed down by a bunch of veteran players.
Very true. Very true. Do we do this? And sorry if you're still talking, Jake. I accidentally unplugged my headphones. Do we do this, though, then maybe, because I agree with you for everything you said. So maybe we frame this in outside of DJ Pickett. Who do we think will have the biggest impact? Certainly, we've seen what freshman running backs can do.
Yeah, I was about to say that position, and I'm not trying to tell them my own position here, but there's not a lot of overthinking that can happen at that position. Certainly now, like maybe back in the day a little bit with pass protection, if you had like a pro style offense and you had to have scan protection where you if a backside corner's coming, that's your guy. Like you don't really see that anymore. It's like you check your will linebacker and you get out now. So with that being said, and you've heard me say this 1,000 times, you can either run the football or you can't. You're born with it or you're not. And so like that translates, I think, pretty well. So I think running back's probably the easiest position to be able to walk onto campus and make an impact of any of the positions outside of, certainly like special teams guys.
Yeah, you look at Charles Ross at linebacker, you're so set at that position right now. That road's long to the field. Same thing for Teron Francis, their wide receiver. J.D. LeFleur, tight end. It feels like you've got options now there that he'd have to fight through. Maybe one of these O-linemen finds their way into an offensive line that'll be working in new positions. The D-line did play some freshmen last year, maybe. But I don't know, maybe is Dame Shanklin maybe next in this list? Defensive end, one of the top players in Indiana coming in here. It's not an easy position to play right away. But when you look at who you lost, the path to the field may be a bit more open than some of these other positions. Is there another name besides the big names of Pickett and Berry that you think could potentially emerge out of this group, Tay-Tay?
I actually think Teron Francis, just because
wow.
I think he's that good. He's 6'2", around 200 pounds already. I mean, he had an excellent senior season here when he was in high school. And then Zion Williams and Brandon Brown at D-line. So Brandon Brown, he was the guy that was trending to Texas for a long time from Florida. You got him to ultimately flip. He's 6'2", about 285, so he can play inside and outside. And then Zion Williams, I understand.
I just can't every time.
Zion
Williamson?
He's about he's about the size of
PTSD.
Zion Williamson because he's 6'4", 342 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So I get it. You have Jacoby and Guillory. He's battled injuries his whole career, and you don't have anybody else that size. So, I mean, you need a run stuffer. Like, you don't have anybody the size of Zion Williams. So, those three guys, like, if we're taking away DJ Pickett, yeah.
Damn, that's great. I didn't know Zion Williams was that big. Maybe he can start to heal the pain.
What about the offensive lineman? I mean, we'll obviously throw that one to you. Now, we have seen in recent years a left tackle go out there and from day one be the starter and Will Campbell.
Yeah.
Like, can Solomon Thomas, like, I don't know. I mean, can he now we know like Will's kind of different, and we talked about him, like we used to have him on when he was in high school. It's like, all right, this guy's going to play pretty quick. Like, can that happen?
Maybe so, but I can't predict it. You know, that's going to be something that you just got to cross that bridge when you get there. So we'll see. Talented class, though. Hour 3, OTB, coming up next.
Off the bench.
Extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Thursday, January 9th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 49 in hour 3 of today's show. We'll have Big Deal or No Big Deal at 9 a.m. Then at 9:15, our Munchie segment with LSU Executive Chef Michael Johnson. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Welcome back to OTB. Hour number 3. And we got a great hour play. We got Big Deal, No Big Deal. Then we got Showback Downtown. I have my new Chapel Roan shirt on. We'll get to what everybody else is wearing here in a bit. Thank you to Alondra for this Chapel Roan concert tee. Absolutely.
I wish I could see it. I can't tell.
It kind of looks
see
like
it
a
from
little
how far away I am.
It kind of looks like a little like metalhead
I
sort
thought it
of
was
vibe.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's got like kind of like a definitely like a rock and roll vibe.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and kick off this hour with a little Big Deal or No Big Deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
All right, Big Deal or No Big Deal. Our own Taylor Sharp is currently wearing a Deion Sanders Cowboy jersey. That is right. We have finally brought Tay-Tay over to the side of honoring the best players ever for the franchise that he cheers for. Big Deal or No Big Deal, Tay-Tay in a Deion shirt.
No big deal. This is a one-time thing.
I think it's a very big
know.
deal.
Go ahead here. Jake, you answer first. Taylor, shut the hell up. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, you can't answer first. So there's a rotation here, okay, sir? And it is a big deal because he is a certified Deion hater. Even though he did so much for his franchise, he still hates on Deion Sanders, doesn't give him the credit that he went to Boulder, Colorado, turned the team around from 1 win to 4, from 4 to 9, and this man still doesn't give him his credit. So I'm glad to see him finally start to give him maybe not a dozen roses, but at least 1 or 2.
Taylor, you should recognize that what you're really doing is actually wearing the jersey of the Dallas Cowboys' next head coach.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
You already had it. You're
ahead of the curve.
I prepped you for it.
My brother last year got me a jersey. It's one of the throwback Cowboys jerseys. It is a Deion Sanders jersey.
That's a cool jersey, dude. You should wear that.
I think it's in my closet with the tag on
You should
it.
wear the jersey underneath, and then when a big play is made, take off the jersey only to reveal the jersey and spin the jersey around your head.
I do. You know what? I like that idea.
Yeah,
maybe I'll come around.
Huge deal.
So for those who don't know, Alondra got me this beautiful Chapel Roan shirt. You got Tay-Tay, the jerseys. You got Jake a great hat that says "Make fullbacks great again." Thank you, Alondra. Very good presents. Very thoughtful.
No problem. But huge
Very
deal.
demure.
Tay-Tay finally coming around to Dion.
Show
Very
some
proud.
respect, dude.
Yeah. My hat was almost stolen by like 4 different family members who also want to make fullbacks great again. So it was really a family gift, Alondra. So
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
I love that.
Dak Prescott makes $114 a minute.
That makes me really happy.
Guys,
too.
why are we just piling
3-1
on right
great.
now?
So I almost got him a Dak Prescott jersey, but even I couldn't. I couldn't even go that far.
No, the Dion one makes more sense because he should love Dion.
Yes.
Like it's actually sad that he doesn't and
Yeah.
wrong. So
Yes.
we need to berate him
Into loving
into
him.
being like a better Cowboys fan.
Dion as a Dallas Cowboy is non-existent to me. I didn't even see
Shut
him
up.
play for the team.
I don't care. That doesn't matter. I didn't see, Arch Manning play for the Saints, right? I know he's still beloved New Orleans Saint. I was very, very young during the Dome Patrol. I know they're still awesome. Show some respect.
Yeah. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah. Jake, you got a big deal, no big deal?
I do. Big deal or no big deal, just kind of the way James Franklin handled the press conference yesterday down in the Orange Bowl. I mean, not just one thing, but, talked about Notre Dame. They need to be in a conference, uniformity across college football.
Really?
And then I don't know, and maybe I'm just looking too much into this. He asked like Marcus Freeman, he's like, how old are you? He's like, 38. And he's like, look at that hairline. Like, and just like, I don't know. Like he was making light of how young he was. And I don't know, to me, it just felt like a little bit of a jab, and it had an awkwardness to it. I don't know if y'all have heard some of the sound, but just the entire
I'm
thing
about
just
to
kind of
break this down on Snap, so you've given me good content.
So wait, I have to pause
I
the
mean,
music.
just credit your source just one time,
Okay, well, relax.
I'm kidding.
Shut up. I'm sorry.
Dang.
Just say my favorite
Taylor's gotta be
co-host
feeling
number 1 gave me this earlier.
Yes, I will. I will absolutely do that.
Okay, thank you.
To Aaron's face.
Wait, let's see.
I'm
if this is the
looking
one.
over here at Marcus. And how old are you now, Marcus? 38. 38. I mean, look at the hairline on this guy. I mean, envious of his hairline in a lot of ways. But Marcus has done a phenomenal job. And I'm looking.
I don't know. It feels kind of like a little, like trying to
It feels
little
like a
brother
little like
him.
tapping him on the head a little bit
Yeah.
to me. I don't know.
Also, why give Notre Dame fuel the day before this game when they don't even need it, saying, we need uniformity in college football. You're either going to be in a conference or you're not. Like, right there, what is your goal? What is your end game there?
It's a good question. I don't know. That's a weird place to stump for. That feels like off-season conversation.
Well, and-
then again, I guess he'll never have a bigger stage than this.
But also, it's not
right.
even.
But no matter what, it's like, is this really a time? Like, you could have just been like, hey, you know what? I ain't worried about that right now. Like, it's something, and we need to talk about it, but we ain't talking about it right now. We're
I
talking about
agree.
this game.
I will say, if I was James Franklin, though, I would be jealous of his hairline.
Also,
I'm jealous of his hairline.
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
he's
Like, James
impeccable.
Franklin's old and bald.
His comments on the conference aren't even true, though. Like, if it would have been, oh, we got left out and got punished for playing in our conference championship, Penn State lost the conference championship.
Yeah.
They're in the playoff. SMU lost the conference championship. They still got in the playoff. What is your issue here?
Texas lost the conference championship.
Texas lost the conference championship. Like, what's your problem?
You know what one thing James Franklin does have? That peanut butter skin. Yeah. Chill out, Whitlock. Somewhere out there, Whitlock's watching the presser, just salivating, sweating over his keyboard. Oh, yeah. Alondra, big deal, no big deal?
Big deal or no big deal, Jason Whitlock saying that Joey Reed has peanut butter skin and a big rack. No, okay, so this one's not sports related, but it's just kind of funny. So I want to hear
give it to me.
Your take on it and everybody else's, of course. Donald Trump wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
I don't. I don't.
Give me a Trump impression on why we're changing it.
Gulf of Mexico. Why do we call it the Gulf of Mexico? I mean, it really belongs to us. We lead the way. Everything Mexico does, they're telling us they're sending drugs across the border. No, it's now the Gulf of America. Okay, guys? Gulf of America's here.
No, I don't know, dude.
And we want Greenland.
I love this idea.
I did hear that we want Greenland.
Yeah. And then
Maybe
somebody,
for a player to be named later.
I do. Look, I love. I do enjoy his directness, The actual geopolitical ramifications are above my head and way above my pay grade to comment on. But I enjoy his directness, and I think that's probably the single thing that has made him as successful as he has been in this venture of getting into politics, because it's kind of at odds with what you normally see.
Yeah. So he's definitely trolling, but I just think it's so funny.
That did sound more like the Polar Express hobo. Actually, that's good call, T-Pound. It's very funny.
This is a great idea. If you can do something and to troll anyone, why not? He also posted on his Instagram, Twitter, and all that, like a picture of the United States, and he included Canada in there as well.
Yeah.
It's great. He's excellent at social media and Twitter, guys. Like that's who he is.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody did put a picture of a stadium in Greenland, and they're like, where would Greenland University play? Big Ten?
Yeah, they feel like a Big Ten fit.
Yeah.
Just like Notre Dame feels like a Big Ten.
With the way things are going now, being the Mountain West.
Right.
Tay, what do you got?
Big deal or no big deal? Tyler Van Dyke has chosen his third college, and it's SMU. Even though they returned Kevin Jennings, Tyler Van Dyke is going to come in there. Look, 7,800 career passing yards, 55 touchdowns, 1 year of eligibility left. Again, Kevin Jennings is returning. He was only a freshman last year, but did struggle in that bowl game. Big deal or no big deal? Van Dyke to SMU.
Maybe he's being like, I'm not going to play in the NFL, and they're offering me the most money.
Yeah, I mean, that's
because I could see SMU paying for a quality backup so that the season is not blown up. I'm guessing Preston Stone. Yeah, Preston Stone's already in the transfer portal. Yeah. That's right. So that would be my read on this situation. Van Dyke saying, I think we just lost Jake, unfortunately. But Van Dyke saying, look, the SMU is giving me the most money. You know what? Do we owe SMU an apology?
Why?
Because they tweeted out that graphic of them battling north of the wall, and we all made fun of them. But look at Dallas now.
Yeah.
Freezing cold.
It is freezing cold.
About to be snowed and iced in.
I mean, there's still no mountains in Dallas.
Yes, but SMU knew the skyscrapers are mountains. Yeah. The skyscrapers are functionally mountains. SMU knew what was coming. They tried to tell us all, and nobody listened.
That's fair. Big deal. SMU, they're psychic. Huge foreshadowing.
I wanted Jake's take on this, but unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to be able to get him back in time. Big deal or no big deal? Tom Brady being alleged, because remember, Tom Brady is in the booth right now, but he is also a part Raiders owner. And there are allegations out there that Tom Brady is very involved in all these Raiders decisions right now, very involved in the firing of Tony Pierce, and very involved in the recommending of Bill Belichick. In fact, David Sampson, former president of the Marlins, does work with Dan Lebitard and Meadowlark Media. He was a big executive in baseball. He has a great mind for the business aspect, and he's very honest and open about a lot of the sausage making that you never get to hear about. He went as far to say that there is no way that Tom Brady will still be in the booth next season because of his role with the Raiders in the front office and his ownership role that he's in. Big deal or no big deal? Tom Brady basically owning the Raiders.
Big deal because, I mean, look, what has been the Raiders' shortcomings the last couple of years? I get it. Brady's not going to be on the field as a coach, but Brady probably knows a good quarterback when he sees one, and the Raiders desperately need that. Also, he's been successful at everything else he's done in his entire career. Why not be a part owner of the Raiders as well? I think this is a big deal. This is a team that needs a change. They need a facelift, if you will, and Tom Brady maybe could be that guy.
Do you think they go with Belichick?
No.
It's only a $10 million buyout at UNC.
Bill came out and said that he was staying at UNC.
Now, maybe next year they go with Bill, but I don't think you hire another one-year coach, though, after just doing that with Antonio Pierce.
Says he has no plans for NFL return.
I wonder how Fox feels about this. Do they still want him in the booth? They want him out the booth. He definitely generated a lot of conversation, but a lot of conversation was, we like Greg Olson, we don't like Tom. But as we said yesterday, a lot of that's not as much because Tom's awful as simply because he's been perfect at everything and he's less than perfect at this. And so, of course, people want to pile on. Tough to parse. Like maybe him stepping out of the booth is a win for everybody involved. He gets to go back to what he's strong at, maybe he's not feeling very fulfilled with. I don't know. And then Fox gets their easy card of, we didn't fire Tom, confidence, he had to leave, and now we bring Greg back. Remains to be seen. But I was shocked to hear David Sampson be so emphatic that he will 100% not be back in the booth next season. Something to definitely keep an eye on going into this offseason. Gulf South Fox is paying Brady like hundreds of $1 millions, right? Yes, but he may not be allowed to stay in the booth if this conflict of interest is called out. We'll see. I do believe.
I was just gonna say I don't really see how it would be like too much of a conflict of interest.
I agree. You're not reffing the game. You're just calling the game.
Maybe a little bit of bias, if anything, but who doesn't have a little bit of bias when they're calling a game for their team?
Yeah, I mean, they stick Jonathan Vilma on the Saints calls all the time and stuff. It's a common occurrence. Maybe it's because you have the power to enact personnel decisions.
But what does that have to do with doing color for a game?
To be fair, also, if you're doing color, you are meeting with coaches and whatnot before the games, right? Like you're getting some inside info. If you think that, this guy's in the Raiders front office, I can't.
I guess so.
And you're calling an AFC West game, that does become a bit of.
Maybe just don't allow him to go into those meetings. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's been talk of that. Maybe he even wasn't allowed at times this year. But then that takes away from the it's weird. He's trying to do too much.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to do a little too much.
Yeah. But I think he's better suited for a role in a front office than.
Maybe. I mean, I agree with you.
I think
He
it's
got
a lot
way
more
better.
hands-on. I actually like him on the call.
Yeah. He would probably be more fulfilled in a front office. Maybe.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, look, Gulf South says Brady's already not allowed in buildings to watch practice. Okay, makes sense. And those are some of the best parts of listening to a call, though, are hearing that kind of, we were at practice yesterday and blah, 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 blah. I love those stories.
I have a final big deal or no big deal before we go to break. So, big deal or no big deal, we did not lose Jake Hester because of our internet connection or his. Guys, our free Zoom meeting expired, and I have to wait 9 more minutes before I can start a new one. Big deal or no big deal, because I didn't know this was a thing.
I mean, I'm going to give Zoom credit here. I generally need more than 9 minutes if I'm going to crank back up. So, credit to Zoom. I mean, I don't know if that's good exercise. Maybe it's youth, drinking a lot of pineapple juice, but I think you're complaining about something that I think is kind of impressive, to be honest.
No, that's awful.
I didn't know you had to pay for Zoom.
Also, we're logged in. We have an account. It's like, no, you need to upgrade to the step
account.
above.
You have a free
to
pay that man his money. Kegels, exactly. When we get back, Chef Michael Johnson answers all of your culinary queries with Munchies.
Off the bench.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction. The read's so nice, we do it twice, man, because we love our friends over there at PECbuilt.com. Make the outdoor, your backyard of your dreams a reality. We build the spaces, you build memories. So let's talk about pools. Summer's right around the corner. You can build a completely custom pool. I mean, look at that gallery right there, guys. It's beautiful. But you can build a completely custom pool to whatever specifications you want. Pinnacle has a team of experts that all the way from design to cleanup, top of the line service every single step along the way. You can also choose from a number of spec pools. And this is interesting because you flip through this giant booklet, right? And it's got all your different templates. And then within the templates, you choose little detail works. Oh, well, here's a ladder, here's this, here's that. So while it's more affordable because it is kind of out of these templates, you're still customizing it and making it your own. And that's what this is about, making your backyard your own. And the place that you and your family want to spend time at, want to be together at. Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Like the legend of the Phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning.
Oh. My bad. Welcome back to OTB, where we are HOTTOGO with our guy, Chef Michael Johnson, for some munchies. Every single week, Chef makes time for us to answer your culinary queries. Of course, he's the executive chef of LSU Athletics. He's got beautiful baby blues, and he's roaring into 2025. Chef, what's up, brother?
How are you guys?
We're doing well, man. We're doing well. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
Chef, give me your, something we discussed yesterday, #Munchies, Jonathan even gives it. Give me your Premier King Cake.
Premier King Cake. I like a little liquor in the
what?
filling, you know? I don't know. I'm a chocolate guy too. So like a rich chocolate mousse with some kind of liqueur in it. Pecans got to be on it because I like pecans. Or even if chocolate cream cheese, I think would be okay.
So you are a filling, because where I landed yesterday is, filling can do a lot, but
yeah,
I think if you can make, it's easy to screw up just a base king cake, right? But if you can make one that's moist and delicious, I think that's the pinnacle. But if you can't, then sure, go ahead and throw some cream cheese and whatnot. That's I guess I'm saying that I kind of view the filling as a crutch.
You're still bitter about the omelets, aren't you, T-Bob?
No, I'm just saying, dude. No, I forgot. Yes, no, and it wasn't omelet, Chef. Okay, it was over easy eggs. And guess what? I made myself a bacon and sausage croissant which with those over easy eggs that I cooked with the water without flipping them, and they were delicious. I hope you're
I'm
happy.
glad you did. Yeah, it's just gross, is what that is. Yeah, I like it.
This weekend, I'm going to attempt frying an egg where I baste the butter on top and flip it and everything else. So we'll see.
No, honestly, I have respect for that, and I'm being serious. Like what that basting, like it's how you poach as well. Like if you're poaching salmon in a pan, that's how you would poach it as well. You kind of take the grease or the butter or the fat, whatever it is, and kind of flip it up on there, and it keeps the top warm while you're cooking the bottom. And then when you turn over, you do the same thing. And it's definitely that is a professional execution of cooking.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to set out to try it. We'll see. Hashtag Munchies. Do you use organic produce?
When I was in Seattle, I absolutely did because it was close and available.
Yeah.
For me at the nutrition center, nutrient density is something that we talk about a great deal here. And if I buy a tomato, for instance, from, let's say, Washington, the process is an organic tomato.
Yeah.
The process is 90% of the time they're going to pick that tomato when it's green because it's got to ship.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes off green, it hasn't fully absorbed the nutrient that it needs to from the plant. Now, there's a couple of caveats here. If it's picked with the vine still on it, it will still draw nutrient from that vine what's available and will continue to ripen and continue to pull nutrient and absorb nutrient from the vine. However, if it's taken off the vine, it stops absorbing nutrient immediately. And so, like if I'm buying a tomato from southern Louisiana from Belle Chase, they're going to pick that tomato when I ask for it, not ahead of time. And what happens then is that tomato is staying on the vine for a greater amount of time. The nutrient density is getting absorbed into it. And it's only going to take 2 days for me to use it, right? So it gets picked, it comes to me, and I use it. If you buy it from organic stuff, usually comes from the coasts, and so it's having to be shipped. And so it's going to spend, a week or so in a refrigerated truck and then go to the produce company and sit on a refrigerated shelf. And then when I call and ask for it, they're going to subject it to ethylene gas to turn it red, which is ethylene gas.
No way. They'll just make it red.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
the
wow.
ethylene gas is produced by vegetables, fruits and vegetables. It is the natural release. You have ethylene gas producers. You have ethylene gas susceptible produce, like a banana, for instance. A banana, the reason you put it in a paper bag is because it not only is an ethylene gas producer, it is ethylene gas susceptible. And so if you put a spoiled banana that's producing large amounts of ethylene gas in with green bananas, that gas is going to mature those bananas. The green bananas think that it's spoiling because of the ethylene gas that's being released, and it starts to turn. And so, the produce companies figured this out a long time ago. That's why the tomatoes at the store are super firm, because it was picked green and has been sitting in a warehouse waiting for the consumer to say, I need it. And so, I buy local first because those tomatoes are soft. They taste like grandma's out of the garden. Those soft tomatoes have been matured on a plant and have greater nutrient density.
So this is pretty fascinating. So if you can get local and organic, sure, that's the ideal.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's actually maybe better to buy just the local produce over organic produce. I never knew that.
Yeah, because of the nutrient density. Absolutely.
Damn.
So, this is an ugly truth about the food business as a whole, especially in the United States, is that we have to eat more food now to consume the amount of calories that are necessary for our body, because we're eating fruits and vegetables that are being picked before they're prime, before they're ripe. And so, the caloric intake, it isn't what it used to be. A banana off the tree doesn't have the same calories or the same nutrients available because it's been plucked before it's fully ripe, before it's fully developed with nutrients. So, yeah, there's the science to it for sure.
See, this is it, guys. You learn something new every single week here when we talk to Chef. Hashtag Munchies. In your opinion, is Boudin King Cake a fun idea or a hacky regression of Cajun tradition?
I think both. I think to some degree it's a little bit of both, but I do like boudin.
I do like it though. I do like it too. To be fair,
here's the thing: is I'm a fan of savory dish.
Yes.
I like crab cheesecake. Right.
Yep.
I like that savory cheesecake. Is it healthy for you? No, but man, it's good. And I do like taking those sweet dishes and turning them savory and seeing, if there's value in it. And you put boudin on anything and I'm going to eat it, son.
True. I mean, actual true. Like sometimes the simplest things in life are the truest. Hashtag munchies. What's your favorite cooking infomercial, and did you ever buy one? Did an infomercial ever get you to buy something?
So I'm going to date myself here, and I don't know that it was an infomercial, but it felt like infomercial to me back in the day was Yan Can Cook, and it was more like a cooking show. I don't know that I've ever bought anything else.
What is Yan? I'm about to Google this. Yan Can Cook?
Yan Can Cook is like the original cooking, like back in the...
It says 1982 cooking show, Yan Can Cook. It's on YouTube here.
Yes. So Yan Can Cook was like my inspiration because he would sit there and chop stuff without looking at it and, flip it around and flop it. And I remember looking at this guy thinking, oh, my God, I want to be able to do that someday. And, that guy was a monster. He was just incredible with the knife. And I don't know that I wanted to buy the knife, but, I wanted to be he was inspirational to me to develop knife skills. And so, I can cut with my eyes closed now.
I mean, so right here, this episode of Yan Can Cook, the title is Martin, I guess who's Chef Martin. Martin butchers a chicken in 24 seconds.
Yeah.
Takes it down with the knife in 24 seconds. I'm watching now. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Filmed in front of a live audience, Chef. Would you ever do a cooking show in front of a live audience?
I don't know, man. I maybe, now, because I'm mature and have the confidence to do it. I think, like back in my 20s, I probably wouldn't have, because at the time I wasn't seeking that kind of attention, I guess, and not that I am now, but I'm more, settled in who I am as a chef. And at that time, I wanted to be this chef in particular, and so being an audience chef wasn't really interesting to me. Now it just sounds fun. Like, I would probably go do it once and enjoy it just for the experience of what it was, because
you'd be great at it. I mean, you would be great at it. Y'all put on like an event or something. God, this guy's awesome. Shout out Chef Martin. Hashtag munchies. When making a roux for gumbo, do you cook your sausage or chicken first to render out the grease and then use that grease to make your roux?
Yes, absolutely. But I don't use the grease just to make the roux. I'll use the grease and add it to the roux.
And so how does that not become overly, that doesn't mess with anybody's stomach or anything? Because I'm terrified of the grease, because I remember back in the day, I didn't know about that. And I just put it all in there, and I ruined people's stomachs. One of the first gumbos I ever made.
Yeah. What I'll do is, a lot of times, instead of putting it into the roux, also is I'll cook the sausage down, render it so it's nice and the sausage is nice and brown and crispy. Because if you don't, it's going to leach out in your gumbo, and it's going to get greasy as hell.
Yes.
So, you got to render that fat out. And then what I'll do is, I'll cook my chicken in there and brown the chicken in it. And the chicken will absorb some of that grease in. And then, I'll split my vegetables in it, and the vegetables will absorb some of that grease in. And then you go about making your gumbo with the roux and everything else. And that, it doesn't release as much once it's in the muscular structure of the chicken, or it's in the cell structure of the onions. It's not as likely to release as it is, in its solid fat version coming out of the sausage.
I never see, again, another technique to add to the mix. I never knew this. I just always assumed it was like, if it was in there, it was in there, but it can be masked in other things and not hit you in the same way.
Yeah, well, there's an exchange. It's kind of the same thing, but behind deep frying a piece of chicken, the moisture, the water weight that's in a chicken leg, for instance, when you deep fry it, the oil is getting into the muscular structure and is replacing the liquids, the water that's in there, which is why you have steam. The steam that's coming out when you drop something down in the fryer, that steam that's coming out that's coming from inside the muscular tissue of the chicken.
Damn. I mean, crazy, man. The science, again, it's science, it's art, it's everything. And he is our Galileo Rembrandt, a man of many talents. Chef Michael Johnson, executive chef for LSU. Thank you so much, Chef.
Of course. You guys have a good day.
You're the best. Well, looks like I'm making gumbo this weekend. You know, that's just how that goes. We gotta try this out and see if we can get this thing to work. Oh man, never considered this. So crazy. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's go ahead and get to today's NFL story of the day. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Go to trashrangers.com. Trashrangers.com, guys. Trash Rangers is there for you. For all of your waste removal needs, and they're local, okay? Look, if you're a business owner, Taylor's been saying it, you know, driving around town up there in Denham, he sees it everywhere. Now, it's anywhere in the listening area. If you're a business owner, you want Trash Rangers. You see the big red cans, front load dumpsters. They can empty you out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. Maybe got a big roll-off dumpster that you need for a project or on a continued base, 15, 20, 30 yards, we got you. Now, if we're talking residential trash pickup, unfortunately, some of us aren't allowed a choice, but if you live in Livingston or Ascension, you are allowed a choice. And why don't you choose the local guys that give a damn about you and the community? They don't take the profits out of state like while keeping the trash here like these other companies do. No, those profits go back into the community and literally teams, churches. They're your neighbors. They give a damn. Go to Trash Rangers, trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. It's time for a little Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
Before we get to Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day, can I say something real quick that I just realized?
Yeah.
I have officially been doing OTB for a year now.
Today? Today?
Yeah.
Like today?
Yeah, I just went back to go look.
Wow,
So,
what?
Another dark day in history for T-Bob on January 9th.
Shout out to y'all.
Let's go.
I've loved being a part of Team OTB.
Well, we love
And
you
hopefully-
being a part of Team OTB.
Yeah.
God,
So-
the inexorable march of time.
Yeah.
Already been a year.
Yeah.
Real talk, though, Alondra. I love having you here, and that makes me so happy. That's awesome.
I
A
love
year
being here.
anniversary. I wish I would have known. We would have done something
I didn't know
special.
either until just now.
Well, hell yeah. When Jake gets back, we'll have to do something to celebrate a year together.
You don't have to do that.
I want to.
Okay.
But right now, I should actually probably remind you all that if you get in an accident, you need somebody to stand up for you, go to Gordon McCurdy Injury Attorney. Get Gordon, get it done. GetGordon.com is the website. They'll stand up to the big insurance companies. When you need them most, they are there for you. And they make sure that you get what you deserve. And that matters, man. You need somebody who's going to fight on your behalf because these insurance companies are big and strong and powerful. But that's where Gordon comes in. So you're going to get GetGordon.com. You see all the cases that they handle. See past results from former customers. And you can also fill out a consult form. They'll get in touch with you immediately, or always just call 888-8880. Follow them on social media at Get Gordon. Tay-Tay, NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Got a little two for you. And good news, they are both sad. No, I'm totally kidding. The first one, a little bit more of a PSA. Obviously, we do...
A pissa.
Yes, exactly. We do know about the wildfires in L.A. We were actually just talking about it.
Terrible.
During break. It looks like if the fires continue, the game between the Minnesota Vikings and Los Angeles Rams
I saw this.
will be moved to State Farm Stadium in Glendale, where the Arizona Cardinals play. They actually did this in 2003, so there were wildfires in California, and the Chargers were set to host the Miami Dolphins. They played that game actually in Sun Devil Stadium, where Arizona State plays, so they have moved an LA game to the state of Arizona before. But, yeah, it looks like the Arizona Cardinals could finally host a playoff game. Unfortunately, they are not the ones playing in that game, but Glendale, Arizona might be the site of this game.
So, man, I don't know. It's I don't have a football take on it. I got all my family in California. Everybody's safe. Everybody's evacuated. But it's just wild, man. Like,
so crazy.
Everybody's houses are burning down. Friends, family. And it just feels like something that in the modern age you feel like you're exempt from, right? Like you read about like the Great Fire of San Francisco back in like the early 1900s. And well, surely nothing like that could ever happen again. And now we're going through something even worse. So, I know people in this area know stranger to natural disaster and the rebuilding that it brings and the loss therein. So just praying for all the California brethren out there, man. It's absolutely awful.
All right, I went to something actually fun.
Yeah, that was sad, Taylor. Where'd you go? That was very sad.
What's not sad? It's just a PSA. Like, I was just letting everybody know.
It is. I mean,
like,
it is very relevant. You're
like,
right. It is very relevant to an NFL story of the day, Dave, to be
the
fair.
game could get postponed. It could get moved.
Yes.
Are the Kansas City Chiefs scared of the Cincinnati Bengals? Because on the New Heights podcast, they let listeners call in, send in messages and everything. And overwhelmingly, a lot of people said that the Kansas City Chiefs intentionally set their starters in the Week 18 game. For what it's worth, I fully do not believe this, because they wanted the Broncos to get into the playoffs instead of the Bengals. Jason Kelsey actually brought it up to Travis, who had a rather colorful response. I'll obviously skip over the swear words, but he said, I ain't scared of nobody. I wanted them in the playoffs. I want to slay every dragon one by one, Mortal Kombat style. T-Bob's into that.
He's boring.
He said, I don't even want this to be like we play the lowest seed. Just give us the best teams, AFC, NFC. Give me all of them. We'll play them in a Walmart parking lot in the offseason where we can really duke it out if that'll make people happy, because a lot of people believe they intentionally threw that game to keep Joe Burrow out of the playoffs. I do not believe that one bit.
I mean, they already had the 1 seed, right?
Yes.
So No, they're resting their
Well,
starters.
I mean, Josh Allen didn't play at the Bills because they had the 2 seed locked up. Saquon Barkley set out and didn't break the record.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
So this
the
is
Chiefs aren't
just
the only
general
ones to do
NFL
that.
strategy. But there always can be a situation in which you get dual benefits. And I agree. I believe Travis Kelce when he says that because the Chiefs have proven that. I don't think they're afraid of anybody. But at the same time, the Broncos, even with that incredible defense, for a playoff scenario, you're talking about a rookie quarterback who's been all right versus a guy who was playing at MVP level. Like, no, it's not even close. Of course you would rather play the Broncos than the Cincinnati Bengals.
Here's something crazy for you. Everybody's obviously saying that because Burrow, I guess, out of the quarterbacks in the NFL, has had the most success against Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
There's only 2 quarterbacks ever to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Tom Brady beat him in the Super Bowl, and Joe Burrow beat him in the AFC Championship. That's it.
Damn.
Nobody else has beaten Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. So, I mean, that right there. But you could say, okay, well, Burrow beats them every time they get in the playoffs. Joe Burrow's last playoff game was the AFC Championship in 2023. He lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, I don't think that
that's when everybody was calling it
Burrowhead instead of Arrowhead. And, and the Chiefs won that game. And that was their first Super Bowl, or Mahomes is second, but they took the year in between because Brady had beat him the year before, and then Burrow went against the Rams. But that's what potentially started the three-peat, was that Super Bowl run. Again, I understand that Burrow's great, but, I mean, the Chiefs are 15-2.
No, it's
we
not
talk
why
about
they're
it.
doing it, but they're happy to have it have broken that way. You're
Yes,
not upset that you get to play the Broncos over the Chiefs.
Would they rather have the Broncos in the playoffs? Sure. At the same time, you're 15-2. You're probably not scared of the 9-8 Cincinnati Bengals. Like, this is something it's a fun conversation to have, but in no way are the Kansas City Chiefs scared of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Closing out the show next here on ESPN.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. That's the website that you can go to where you can start your car buying journey. Remember, though, guys, let's say you already own a vehicle and you need service center, collision shop, all makes and models. Welcome here at All-Star. Does not have to be a Toyota. Does not have to be from All-Star. You still get the free professional estimates, the excellent line of communication, the rapid turnaround times. You still get the shuttle service that'll drop you off and pick you back up. You still get the rental cars right there on site from Miss Lisa Sessions at cheaper per day rental prices than the traditional rental companies if you end up needing one. So again, that center, it's very conveniently located, Airline in Goodwood, and it's open to all. Go check them out today if you need work on a call. If you want to check out some deals, you're looking for a new vehicle or maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, you can just go in and see them in person, or you can head over to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com, where you can search by keyword, make, model, price, and you can find exactly what you and your family need. It's your one-stop vehicular shop. It's All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Uh-oh. I lost my live sheet. What's the last floater?
The last floater, Central Plumbing. You already did that one?
I didn't do Central
No?
Plumbing yet.
Okay.
CentralPlumbing.org. 925-8552. Shout out to our friends over there at Central Plumbing. There for you when you need them. 24/7 emergency service. Massive fleet. Handle anything you need, commercially, residential. God, I love this song. Talk about a song get you in the party mode right here. Go check out Central Plumbing today, though. Take advantage of, like I said, the flat rate pricing, licensed, bonded, and insured employees. They send you information about ahead of time so you know who's coming into your home. You can trust them. Great warranty once the work is done. In over 50 years, they've seen it all, so they can fix it all. So whether it's a problem or you want to remodel or an upgrade, Central Plumbing is your one-stop answer. CentralPlumbing.org. Ask the bench, should Joey B win league MVP? Unfortunately, no. You can't win MVP if you don't make the playoffs. It sucks, but these are the rules.
Had an MVP season and can't even be nominated.
I know.
He'll finish third.
Also, there are other great options out there. It's not like we're saying that he was like far and above better and didn't make the playoffs. It's just that.
I mean, he was pretty damn good.
No, he was awesome. He had an MVP caliber season, but his team did not. Hashtag Ask the Bench. How many female listeners does OTB have, and is that what is keeping you out of the top 5? I count 3, Ashley, Carly, and Katie for LSU.
I think there are more than you would think.
There are more than you think.
I've had women message me and tell me they like listening to the show.
There are definitely, I would, or maybe I just like to feel this because it's self-serving. I feel like it's more than most sports shows, even if it's still predominantly male, sure.
Yeah.
I will say Whiskey and Wine probably has the highest female listenership of anything that I do.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves just dumb ribald comedy.
Yeah.
You know? I've told you, I've always connected with old women. Nobody loves dirty jokes like old women. When I was on in New Orleans, those were the people I would get stopped by most early on when I was doing night radio were always old women.
Yeah.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. How do you dispose? Oh, by the way, Ask the Bench brought by Cold Curse Light Visitor, Tulsa Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. How do you dispose of your grease? I let it cool, and then I pour it in the trash can.
So I got a little.
Yeah, I just let it cool.
I mean, I'll let it cool, and then I'll use it like if it's
I'll
bacon
use
grease.
it, yeah.
I'll use it to cook or coat cast irons with. But
yeah.
But yeah, but if I want to throw it away, I just throw it in the trash can.
We got a little area between like my fence and the corner of our garage that like you can't do anything with, so I just dump it right there.
I've had those before in the past too.
Yeah.
But then one day I was like, wait a second. If I just let this temperature go down, I can just pour it in the trash and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't even let it cool all the way. I just do it
'Cause it
till
gets
it won't
hard.
like burn through the bag. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
you can go till it gets all the way hard.
Yeah.
For sure. Mr. Big says my girlfriend hated sports we started dating. Now she'll only listen to y'all's show. Hell yeah, Mr.
Hell
Big.
yeah.
That's what's up, dude.
Shout out to your girl.
So
Shout out to
like-
Mrs. Big.
Yeah, shout out Mrs. Big. Exactly. Man, I think that's all we got for us, man. To remind you guys, if you want to come hang out, Cavalier Bookhouse going to be celebrating the release of Royal Heirs Academy. Shout out Lindsay Dugard tonight in Denham Springs. I don't spend a lot of time in Denham Springs. I'm excited to go check it out. Where'd I go? Oh, I went to a trampoline park over there. That was actually pretty awesome.
The
other
one
day.
by Bass Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Urban Air or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, never been.
Ask
That-
a
that was
bitch.
great.
Why are the Mannings the first family in Louisiana football, not the A-Bears? Only Archie did anything football-wise. I guess he means for Louisiana. Well, because, again, while they may not have played for the professional teams, well, first off, it's just the success they had. But, like, you look at the Manning Passing Academy in Thibodaux, you look at where they've given back throughout the football community, like, they bring a lot to Louisiana football. And they're all in the Hall of Fame, basically. It's insane. All right. We love you guys. Thursday in the books. Great Thursday show, guys. Tomorrow we'll be recapping a playoff game. Looking forward to the rest of the weekend. So join us Friday, 7 at 10 a.m. for more OTB. Still have like 10 seconds left? Oh, okay. Well,
Now you got like.
I really do like you guys.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about 6 Rings